Shalom, this is Makombe with a word of encouragement. I read Matthew chapter 26 verse 11. It says, it's a small verse, says, "For you have the poor with you always, but me you do not have always." Supposed to mean the disciples were arguing. They were arguing about this woman. This is the woman who, it's a long story. A woman came to him having what they call alabaster flask for very expensive oil. And they put it under Jesus' feet, and it was expensive. So that's where the argument began. This is so expensive. And one of them suggested if she sold this oil, she could help a lot of poor. And Jesus, looking to their heart, is like, why do you trouble the woman? For she has done a good work. Good work for me. For you have the poor with you always, but me you do not have always. In times like this, I have seen this, and all human, they always think, oh, there is a terrible moment going on, there is a disaster, there is sometimes it's, any crisis. So you create a crisis relief, you try to relieve that crisis. And most people, I found even people who never had any relationship with Christ, they want to work so hard to help somebody. They want to help the poor. It is so interesting, especially when I lived in Missouri State. I had this outreach I did downtown, and I tried to help this young man. He's homeless. He's always on the street. When I tried to help him, he refused completely. What he told me, he said, somebody else could benefit that more than me. Somebody is worse than me. That is just amazing American mindset. It's almost like I am suffering, but I know I can survive. Go help somebody else. It is so unlike, Africans, they will take it even if they had it. I mean, you can help rich people. You can still help. They can still get help. And this is very interesting that we have so many charity companies from the U.S. And when you come to Africa, you search for one, you can't find it. You think there's no poor people in Africa, but that is not true. It's just that we are not trained to help. We actually have been crippled to receive. And the hand that receives is always below the hand that gives. And that's how we've been trained. Ladies and gentlemen, I beg you, this is not a time to think of helping someone else before you help yourself. I'm not even talking about food. I'm not talking about clothing. I know people need that. You can do that. But you have to understand, every work done outside the umbrella of Christ will have no value, will have no reward. You may do that to make yourself feel good, but it's not gonna make you feel good in eternal life, because you don't have it. So this is Jesus say, you always have the poor. The poor don't show up with the coronavirus. Coronavirus doesn't bring poor. No, the people have been in a bad condition, so coronavirus is going to reveal it. But you've always had the poor with you. But Jesus, you are limited. While you're still breathing, accept Christ in your life. And this is the word of encouragement. You know why? Because you've been searching what can fill your emptiness. And only Jesus can do that. I mean, you're going to hear the countries that don't care about their people. Some countries, the prices of food is going so high. I so appreciate my country, Rwanda, that they made the laws. You don't raise the prices on the people because they're trying to save their people. I'm thinking, what happened to this country? I grew up in this country. I remember about 30 years ago, nobody cared about anybody. Today, the government choose the price. They give announcement, they send letters on social media. The price of this is this, nobody goes higher. So we are surviving. And then I hear some other countries I don't want to talk about, especially in Asia, where they worship idols. The prices are going so high, it's terrible. I'm thinking, man, you really become like a God you worship. But I'm begging you, give your life to Christ, that even if you die in a Christ. If you live for Christ, even in this moment. But without Christ, there's no life. I hope you obey and you share testimony with us. God bless you and keep you. His face to shine upon you and give you peace. Shalom.